My name is Bonnie Whitfield, and I am the Director of Member Services here at the Vision Council. As Mike said, I
All
kind of head
right.
up our membership department. On the call today, we also have Candace Sperlin and Sydney Hartner, who are part of our membership team, as well as we're led,
Okay.
by Michael Vitale, who you are familiar with. I see we have another attendee joining the call today. So I'm going to get into the member benefits package, but at any time,
Awesome.
if anybody has any questions, please just stop me and let me know.
Thank you.
All right. Give me just a second. So welcome and thank you for being here. Joining the Vision Council means aligning with 500 plus organizations from all across the optical industry, ensuring cross-sector collaboration, innovation, networking, and shared vision for the industry growth. Networking is a huge one, as you brought up, Frank, and so that is something that we definitely look at as part of our benefit package as being highly utilized and highly valued by our members. That is always something that's top of the line in our member satisfaction surveys, is that the networking collaboration is sometimes the biggest reason that they are here. Not that they don't utilize the other benefits, but it's definitely a way to bring the industry together for a common goal and a common purpose. So with that, we have tagged that message kind of with be part of the vision. And we enjoy that because we feel like it really encompasses bringing everyone together, networking and collaborating for the growth of the industry. We have a unique position here at the Vision Council to be able to unify the diverse and trusted voices of the entity of the vision industry. We also have a national and global reputation for expertise, empowerment, impact, and positioning optical businesses for success. We have a strong platform for high caliber optical community, and that goes into that networking and fostering those connections and innovations. That is sort of our unique position as your trade association to be able to bring the entire diverse industry together. Our mission is to advocate for the economic growth of the vision industry and the success of our members. And speaking of that, we've evolved a lot over the years. You can kind of see the evolution here, but through that evolution, still today, our mission has not changed. We are still here for the success and the growth of the optical industry. The Vision Council really exists to represent any company, brand, or corporation whose business involves the manufacturing, distribution, or sale of the optical products and services. We offer a diverse segment of the optical industry, including all of these divisions: contact lens, eyewear and accessories, healthcare, lens lab, and lens processing technology, over the counter, which used to be our sunglass and readers division for those existing members, our retail division, and technology. Some of our divisions are new, so technology, healthcare, and contact lens are some of our newer divisions. And really, these divisions just serve as an entry point, an opportunity for you to connect with other companies in the same scope of business, but also a way for you to network and collaborate with others. Your home division just means just that, being able to connect on topics that align usually for that segment of our members. But even if you're in the contact lens division or you're in the over-counter division, you still have access to all of our member benefits and the opportunity to network and engage with the other divisions across our entire membership.
Hey, Bonnie, before you go on, Frank,
Yep.
just give you a good example since we were talking earlier. For example, we are migrating a lot of our members that were in previous categories over to these new divisions that they've been merged. As you know, historically, digital optometrics has sat underneath the lens processing technology, just because that's where all the equipment for the doctor's offices and everything were. We took it upon ourselves to understand that you should be in the technology division, and so that's where you'll be. But again, you have access to everything all the other divisions do. But just an FYI there.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. That's
So,
very important for us too. I just want you to know that when we first started with digital optometrics, we went through what we were going through previously with the Data Communication Standards Committee, and everyone having their own language and no common language and no common denominator. And it was through, you know, divisions, interaction, meetings, and collaboration that enabled at least our small company to get where we needed to be. And the same thing is occurring here with Digital Optometrics now, as we become more and more engaged with larger and larger organizations that have devices from anywhere in the world. It becomes our problem to figure out, well, how do I get that to connect? And Ken Van Cleve, God bless his soul, but he's been like just a mentor, and this would be great to help him and all of the. Now there's probably a dozen developers that are working in sync with him. So I think, to me, that's one of the large things that I'm very interested in pursuing further.
Awesome. Thanks, Frank.
Thank
As
you.
we talked about our divisions, those are definitely a way for our members to engage and get involved. Each one of our divisions has leadership and a chair. Our chairs all sit on our board of trustees, and so that is most certainly a way for all of our members to get involved inside of their divisions, to attend division meetings, and to get involved with the leadership if they wish to do so. But we also have a couple of other ways for members to get involved and engage through our committees, and those are really about being able to collaborate on segmented topics or task force type things, or annual things that we do year to year. Our emerging optical leaders is just that. It's our emerging optical leaders, kind of a group, and we'll talk about this as we go further into the presentation, but a group of young leaders that kind of can grow and collaborate and do professional development together as they move up through the ranks of the optical industry. And then we have some others, committees that people are interested in. Government and regulatory affairs has been a hot topic this year, as most of our industry is aware. And so those individuals who are on that committee can help drive some of, even more so drive some of the initiatives and the tasks that are being tackled for the industry on the Capitol Hill. And then on down to our program and show committees. Our program committee helps to really facilitate the programming and the execution of our executive summit that happens every January. And then on down to, we have technical meetings and committee meetings and kind of all those in between. If you're interested in any of those, of course, reach out to me and I'll be happy to give more information on ways to get involved. Most of our committee also have leadership and chairs, and most of those also sit on our board of trustees to help direct and influence and tackle the biggest industry opportunities and challenges. Any questions before we jump into our overall benefit portion of the deck? That's just a little snapshot about the Vision Council and ways to get engaged. And okay. So getting into the meat of why you might be here today, our benefit package is very diverse. Some of our biggest benefits are kind of highlighted here. We're going to go through each one of these as kind of a section. But as I've said before in the presentation, I'm going to give an overview today, a snapshot, as you might call it, of our benefits. But if any time any of our members or existing members or prospect members would like a deep dive into any of these subjects or a meeting with any of our experts, please let me know. I'd be happy to get you in touch with them or answer any questions you might have, or get the answers for you if I don't have them. So our research and data section, this one is a huge one. This is the area the Vision Council has invested significantly in over the last couple of years. We've really done, our team's really done an incredible job of re-envisioning and reimagining our research program. It launched new again in 2023 based on a whole different set of data points and things that we do now. And so part of that, we have several things that are open to our members. Most of our research reports are free to members or significantly discounted at like a 50% rate. And so our market insights, that one goes out yearly. That one's a huge snapshot of our industry and the market value. The market insights report really looks at the market size and what makes up the optical industry. It's an estimate size of the market and whether that be by product category or type of product. We also have our consumer insights reports. I think those go out usually about quarterly. Then our provider insights are just that. We have a group of providers that we survey often to try to get, a look in detail into what's going on in that part of the industry. And then we have focus insights that we put out as well. Those those um those are really focused on topics and things that are coming up that are trending in the industry. Our most recent focused insights was about AI last year. We had a focused insight about low vision. We've had focused insights about contact lenses. Like there's all kinds of things that are continuing to pop up and come up that those focus insights really give us the flexibility to be able to focus on what is trending in the industry at the time. We also, in addition, have custom reports available. That's something that you would reach out to the research team and work with them on, custom report if there's something that you are needing. Or sometimes our members will reach out because they need different information about that's like collected from all the different reports, and that's also something that we are always happy to try to help put together for our members. Any questions on research? Okay. Government relations, as I said, has been a hot topic this year. We have done several tariff discussions with our members, as well as lots and lots of tariff information going out to our members on a regular basis. We update our tariff dashboard sometimes daily. Just when new information comes out, we don't send an email about every single change or development that comes out, but we definitely update our dashboard and our developments page based on confirmed information that is coming out from the government about tariffs. But besides tariffs, which is a huge thing, and we understand how big that is for the industry right now. And we do, we always have our regulatory counsel, Rick Van Arnhem, as part of our government relations team. He is open and available to our members for most topics. He can be reached out to at any time to kind of guide our members on different regulatory affairs issues that are going on or ongoing. And aside from tariffs, we also usually, or we always are updating our members on employment and labor, healthcare, managed vision care, trade in general, workplace safety and manufacturing standards, and chemical compliance. We have an entire section on our website dedicated to government and regulatory affairs, and most of that is behind member login. And so once you become a member of the Vision Council, or if you are a member of the Vision Council, Frank, you have the opportunity to log in and be able to see all of the past information that we've been able to put out for members, and then you get the updates as we are able to put those out as they come available from the Hill. Omar, our manager of government relations, Omar, is on the Hill most weeks, fighting for or talking with Congress members about different things that impact the industry and how we can be a voice and be aligned with them. They recently met with some individuals at the White House to talk about some important issues going on. And so they're constantly on the Hill and fighting for the industry as a whole. And we're always monitoring, pieces of federal legislation pertaining to industry interests. So any questions on advocacy and regulatory affairs? Okay. Technical standards is a huge part of our member benefit package. We do have a pretty significant expert on the call with us today. So most of you may know Michael Vitale. He is a leading voice in the development of standards domestically and internationally. He sits on boards both domestically and internationally. I will let him, if he would like to, explain a little bit about what we do with standards and how we lead that for the industry.
Of course you would. You always put it off on me because you know how much I love talking about what I do.
He loves it.
Yeah, so first and foremost, the Vision Council is the Accredited Standards Committee for ANSI. ASC Z80 is the Accredited Standards Committee for all ophthalmic optic standards in the United States. And we, the Vision Council, serve as a secretariat for that. So we manage it, we facilitate it. Technically speaking, we own the copyright on the standards that are produced under Z80. In that role, I also serve as a sub-tag leader to the International Standards Organization for Ophthalmic Optics, and also for the that's ISO TC 172 SC7, and then in the rest of the world, in Europe, in the rest of the world, PPE covers sunglasses because you're making a claim of protection. So in the rest of the world, sunglasses are classified as PPE. So I also serve as the technical expert representing the US position for TC 94 SC6 on sports eyewear, safety eyewear, and sunglasses. Frank mentioned a little bit earlier, the Vision Council, back when they were called the Optical Manufacturers Association, created the data communication standard. A lot of the old timers like Frank still call it the OMA standard. It was a standard that the Vision Council's members grouped together, wrote the data communication standard and the lens description standard as a means to streamline the communication between laboratory equipment and laboratory management software to try to ensure a true plug and play process. And that goes on today. We're just getting ready to launch version 3.14 of that standard. It just went around for approval and it was approved, and it'll be launching probably next month. And then with that, any updates we have from FDA, from the FDA, or anything along the line for EPA, all that type of stuff all comes through the technical standards group. We also serve as the FDA agent for international companies that need an FDA agent in the US. And we also are the facilitators of the optical product codes, which are the barcodes, the OPC codes are the barcodes used exclusively for ophthalmic lenses. I think that got it.
That's great. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a quick question, if that's
Absolutely.
okay.
Yep.
Absolutely.
As we talk about those standards, in our world today, obviously there's a lot of diagnostic equipment manufactured globally, and even other parts of our globe that we somehow wind up with. But do you foresee any type of integration with the kind of similar to what the council was able to do with devices and instruments and equipment talking to lab management software? We're in a similar predicament these days with devices, but they need to communicate with the various electronic medical records systems, EMRs, and it's overwhelming at some point just to see the variety that are out there, and there's really no standard, if you will, that to my knowledge, I'm sure that there are certain standards, but I don't think they have anything compared to what the VC, or not VCA, and what VC has from day one. So do you know anything about that?
Yeah, Frank, I do. I know that, as you know, I had 20 years with Essilor and then been here 13 years now. We actually tried 2 different times to get the medical diagnostic members to form a subcommittee within what was then called the LPT, which is where they all sat, and we couldn't gain interest to even get the subcommittee together. We also tried to put together a task force through ASC Z80. We have a subcommittee set up for electronic communication, where at one point in time we dropped the DCS into an ANSI standard, and then we pulled it out because we just didn't want to continue to keep the exact same standard in two different places. But we tried to do it. We had some initial interest, and then it just fell apart. In particular, we couldn't get the diagnostic equipment manufacturers to come to the table and pull it together. And you know, that's something that can definitely be looked at again if we get the right experts in the room to do it. So be happy to talk to you more about that in the future.
Absolutely. Willing to put on some cheerleading outfits and, you know, try to
Okay.
gain a little bit of interest. No, in all honesty though, I think I've got a lot of people with some peak interest these days, because it'll facilitate a lot of things for most. Not everyone, but most. So yeah,
No doubt.
thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great question, Frank. And if anybody is wondering why I let Mike do that section, it's all the acronyms, especially the ones with numbers. So thank you, Mike, for helping us with that section. And he truly is the expert. That's the real reason. So the Vision Council is the co-owner of the Vision Expos, held twice a year up until the end of this year, and we'll go once a year beginning in 2026. So that big announcement went out earlier this month, or maybe within the last month. It might have been the latter part of June. But we are excited about our trade show move to one show. We think that one show will be able to be a really dynamic and great event for our members, exhibitors, and attendees. So we're excited about that. One of the biggest benefits of the trade show, along with exposure and different things that we have available for our members to gain exposure outside of just the Vision Expo exposure, but being a part of the membership exposure, is we do have a discount. Our members receive a discount per square footage for being an exhibitor at the show and being part of the Vision Council. If that is something that you want to know the exact cost associated with that discount, that you can reach out to our team and we'll put you in touch with the RX sales team, and they would be able to give you that number and with a direct number based on your square footage and the discount at the time. The discounts range anywhere from like 5 to 11%. It just depends on the different shows, and then your specific discount depends on the square footage. So but we also have some other things that we do at the shows. Like I said, some member only rates and opportunities, and definitely some exposure opportunities for our members. But again, those shows will be turning into a one show a year. So next year is in Orlando, 2027 is in Las Vegas, and then 2028 will be back at the Javits in New York City. And we're excited about that. We think it'll be a great change and a really dynamic show for our exhibitors, members, and attendees. Any questions on trade shows?
I do.
Go ahead, Frank. Yeah.
Who determines what subsequent cities are going to be? In other words, after New York, after Javits, does it go to Dallas? Does it go to Michigan? Does it go to some other state? Who determines that?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a overall answer. Like we do have a show committee, and they are definitely our member advisors, not only for ourselves but for RX, which is our trade show partners for Vision Expo. Kind of the surveys over the next couple of years that are provided by our exhibitors and attendees definitely guide some of our decisions as we move forward. And then as we step into this new era of having one show per year, definitely feedback from the surveys, our membership, our board, our trade committee, our show committee, all of those things will factor into what those decisions would be past 28. There have been no concrete decisions made yet. And, so that will be something that comes as a result of those combined efforts and feedbacks. Anything to add to that, Mike?
Yeah, the only other thing that I would say, Frank, is that the show, believe it or not, is large enough that there's really only about 6 cities in the country that have the facilities to handle that large of a show.
Exactly.
And even back when our members / exhibitors were pushing us to get out of New York, that was a big decision about where would we go, because who can handle it. And so I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see how everything works out, and then decide. Like, I think they would love to come to the Midwest, but nobody's really excited about going to Chicago, which could handle us. I'm not sure Dallas has a facility large enough to handle us. So those are all the considerations. But in a nutshell, there is a membership committee on the Vision Council side as well as on the RX side, and then that's how the decisions will be made.
Yeah, I think it's interesting what Kurt Atchison said today in VMail also, as far as the time of year that it happens and how clients equate that time of year to their purchasing decisions throughout the year. So anyway, not to go off on a tangent, but thank you for answering that. Very, very interesting. I'm eager to see it, how this whole thing pans out. Very interesting.
No, it's a great question. Thank you for that, Frank. All right, well, we're going to move on to my favorite section because I'm a little biased. But community building, and you definitely set this up great at the beginning, Frank. Networking is a huge part of our collaboration, and bringing the diverse membership together to move forward as one industry. But we have annual networking and leadership development opportunities and events in conjunction with a couple other key moments throughout the year for our members to be able to do just that, come together to collaborate, network, and build together, and move forward as an industry. So our executive summit is one of our biggest events outside of the trade shows, of course, and it brings together usually around or more than 300 industry executives and leaders for a 3-day networking, growth, and connection conference in January this year. In 2026, we will be in Amelia Island, and so we hope everyone will join us there. Our members receive almost 60% discount for being members to be able to attend that. We do have opportunities for non-members to attend that event as well. But like I said, it's about a 60% discount for our members. So a huge benefit there, a really great event. I am extremely biased because I run the program committee, but they're very dedicated to providing our members and attendees with a dynamic program. And just networking has really become our theme for that event over the last couple of years, and rightfully so. So there's lots of networking opportunities there. We're going to add a couple of more this year. Usually there's some networking involved in sports as well, like golf, pickleball, but then also we have some networking available there for the non-sports people, some walks and some, get out in the town and tour networking opportunities this year coming up. So excited about that. 2 years ago, we brought back what used to be the COLA as a lab leadership forum. So this year, year ago, this was our second year. Next year will be our third annual lab leadership forum that brings together our lab segment of the industry together for a couple of days of programming and networking and collaboration for that group. A great event as well, a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate setting. We usually have, this year we had about 150. We've had 100 to 150 attendees for that one. And then we have webinars throughout the year. We have member division meetings at our shows and at some of the other industry events throughout the year. Definitely have our webinars though for our members throughout the year, and even some of our committees and divisions do virtual meetings throughout the year. So there's other ways to connect throughout the year. And our most recent so webinars, we definitely have a lot of those throughout the year. Here lately, we've been doing a good bit of those on the tariffs and the regulatory things going on in our industry, but we also usually have some professional development and mentorship programming for our members. Last year, we did some security and compliance because that was a big thing going on in the industry at the time with some a lot of spam and some cyber attacks that were happening that we knew about within our membership and just in the industry as a whole. Industry insights and trends, we usually have a couple of those throughout the year to give a deep dive to our members on those reports that are coming out as those are available. And then, like I said, the committee and division engagement. This year, we also launched something that we're really proud of, and we're hoping our members will utilize as a wonderful tool to network and collaborate, connect throughout the year, because that is something that, like I said, has been a common feedback in our satisfaction surveys and our event surveys is that our members they just can't get enough of each other. And so we launched the member community this year, and we're hoping that'll be a great tool for our members to be able to go to for different things. We do already have a resource center set up that has a bunch of our resources all in one place that have gone out, so you don't have to search throughout the web for those, as well as some e-learning that we're going to talk about, and some other tools. Our member directory is there. Of course, you can find that on our website as well, but there's a lot of great reasons to also join the member community and get involved and collaborate together with each other. I touched on the emerging optical leaders earlier, so I won't touch too much on this, but I will say that there are a couple of, there's the in-person meetings. They definitely have dedicated virtual meetings throughout the year to keep that group engaged and to do some professional development. They have a leadership program where we are able to pair together veteran industry leaders with up and coming emerging optical leaders. I really enjoy that program and the relationships and the mentoring that is done with that group there. So really bringing, twofold. And I always love the comment that I get from the mentors that they get just as much out of that program as they feel like the mentees do. And so that's a really great program that's provided through the Emerging Optical Leaders. And they also have their own dedicated EOL retreat every year. This year we held it in conjunction with our Lab Leadership Forum, just to give our members the opportunity to really take advantage of being able to travel for both of those events to one city. So we had those both in Dallas, and it was a great event. We were able to tour a facility and see, a lab facility, and so that was great. So they have a lot of professional development as part of that group. Any questions on any of those so far? Okay. Last but not least, we also have, as part of our connection, our complimentary VMail subscription. So that's a $95 value per each subscriber. Each company has access to this, and it doesn't cost you any more if you have 1 or 100 contacts in our system. Each one of those gets the VMail extra as part of their membership package. So as part of our member community, it is also home now to our optical industry education. Our first video that's out there is a 12-minute video, Optical Industry 101. We'll have I believe 1 or 2 more videos available to our members later this year. And so this is going to be an ongoing series to highlight the critical roles of the eye care providers and details for the network of the manufacturers, suppliers, distributors throughout the industry. So this is something that we're really proud of to be able to provide to our members as a training tool. If you have someone coming on board who is not familiar, Optical Industry 101 especially is really great for those coming on board who are new to the industry or new to a different side of the industry than they were before. If they're moving from lens to, frame sales, or they're, moving into the industry from a whole another industry, this is a great tool for that, or refresher for, some of even our veteran members at some of our companies. So we're really excited about being able to launch this e-learning series and provide it to our members as a benefit. As part of our overall package, we also have the Vision Council Foundation. It used to be called the Better Vision Institute for anyone who's familiar with that. It's a 501c3 arm that helps solve some of the biggest challenges within the industries. There's opportunities to promote public education and to drive industry growth, and also to help with the development of the workforce. And so some of the key things that our foundation does is, provide that 501c3 arm. We're able to also provide opportunities for partnership through the Vision Council Visionary Sponsorship Program. If this is something that you or your team are interested in, I could always put you in touch with our foundation team as well to talk through different sponsorship opportunities or ways to really promote or gain exposure for your business with something that is, you know, a write-off through our foundation. As part of that, we also have a lot of public education campaigns and programs that we do annually. Our National Sunglasses Day, which just happened June 27th. We love that program, obviously. But we also have some other opportunities and campaigns that we send out throughout the year. Our back to school, annual eye exams, Opening Your Eyes Scholarship Foundation or fund, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about as well. And then we also have social media calendars that go out that our members are, you know, able to tag with monthly and just use for any kind of exposure that they need on their socials so that they don't have to recreate the wheel. As I said, National Sunglasses Day, we love that. That is something that, you know, the Vision Council has been promoting for decades, and it helps support awareness for the need for UV protection for your eyes. I don't know why it's going forward, so I apologize, everyone, but I will fix my technical difficulty in a second. But so National Sunglasses Day is definitely part of the foundation. Our Opening Your Eyes Scholarship Program is for up and coming aspiring opticians in the industry. And so that is something that we're really proud of. And we love to have support from our members to support those opticians. I don't think that there's anyone in the industry that isn't aware that there is an OD and an optician's supply issue. There are not enough of them. And so that's definitely something that we want to support those up and coming aspiring opticians and help put them through the program. We do provide full ride scholarships through our partnering schools, and we're always looking for sponsorship opportunities from our members or partnering opportunities for a member or any kind of support for the Opening Your Eyes Scholarship Program. Be part of the vision. So we also have, like I said, some sponsoring opportunities through campaigns, events, research reports. We welcome partners for National Sunglasses Day, back to school and beyond. And so this is something that I could put you in touch with our foundation team, and they can talk to you about, you know, the 501c3 and how the donations are eligible for a tax write-off and how we can get more exposure for your company, especially if you are looking for a philanthropic outreach partnership. That is definitely what our foundation is all about, and we'd be happy to help you with that.
Right.
Oh, any questions so far? All right. Well, that really concludes our benefit portion of the presentation. Happy to take any of your questions. I'm going to skip over this. This is really for just easy access for our members, but I do want to highlight a couple of key teams. And so on the call today, whether on or off camera, is our wonderful membership team, very near and dear to my heart. Michael Vitale, as you heard from, is our Vice President of Membership, Government Relations, and Technical Affairs, so we keep him triple busy. Myself, the Director of Member Services, but also Candace Sperlin, who is our Manager of Membership Database and Admin, and so she is your go-to for helping you with your account or getting signed up as a new member, or, you know, all things to do with our membership database. But she's definitely very versed on our membership as well and our member benefit package, and so she's a really great resource for all of the above. Our newest member of our membership team that is quickly becoming seasoned is Sydney Hartner, and so she's on the call today too. She's our Manager of Member Communications, and so if you get an e-blast, whether you're a prospect or an existing member, it probably came through her or was her doing all together. And so she's a really great resource for our members as well to answer questions and to get messages out, or to, you know, help you facilitate any kind of resource that you might need. And then Dave Pearson is our strategic advisor. He's been in the industry for a long time, a great resource and tool for our members. Our key contacts and really our executive team, minus Brian Carroll, our CFO. Ashley Mills is our CEO. So you may have seen her on the stage if you've been at Vision Expo or any of the optical events. Really, she's a very active in the industry and loves the optical industry. Very passionate. Elise Hinkle is our VP of Research. Chelsea Pillsbury, she is the VP of Marketing and Communications and also leads the Vision Council Foundation. And then Mitch Barkley is our trade show, Vice President of Trade Show, and is very instrumental in the trade shows and then our partnership with RX. And then Michael Vitale, again, we just gave him all the other divisions in case, he needed anything else to do.
You didn't have anybody silly enough to be willing to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is for each division, there is a staff contact. So someone you can directly reach out to that kind of helps, the leadership portion of those divisions. You can always reach out to anyone on the membership team and we'll be happy to answer questions too. But Dave Pearson is our staff contact for retail, Mitch Barkley, eyewear and accessories, myself for the healthcare division, Ashley Mills for over-the-counter division. And again, we just gave everything else to Mike. So contact lens lab and lens processing technology and the technology divisions is something that he definitely helps facilitate for. And then with that, that concludes this portion of the presentation, and I just want to open it up and see if anybody has any questions.
I don't have any questions. Just want to say thank you all. That was a great presentation, and I see that it was recorded, so I'm hoping that you send the transcript over so I can review. I don't have any questions. It was a lot of information, and I'll be looking through it too.
Brenda, we love having you on. Be happy to give you, to get you over. If you drop your email for us, we'd be happy to send you over. We have you in the database currently today. I'm assuming that email address is still correct. The brenda.doog@bosch.com.
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
then we'll make sure that we get you a copy of the of the presentation over to you as well, Frank, since we had such an intimate setting this time. And then we're here to answer questions for you.
No, great job today. And I'm very, very interested in getting a lot of our team members that are up and coming, some in one way, shape, or form, at least educated and informed about their opportunities as well. And that, I think, will begin the process for us here at Digital Optometrics.
That's great,
Fantastic.
Frank. And Brenda, thank you again. I just want to say thank you also for being here. It is a lot of information, and sometimes I talk too fast, because I do these presentations often, but happy to do so. If you have any questions on anything or clarification or deep dive into any subjects or just quite don't know, exactly what any of that means, please feel free to reach out. I'll definitely send you a follow-up email, but be happy to have a conversation with you or anyone else on your team, that might have any questions about our benefit package. So happy to have both of you here. Thank you both for being here today and for listening to me talk. I am very passionate about our membership. Our entire membership team is. Mike and I, we love to talk to existing members or prospect members about ways that we can help connect you to the resources that we provide or ways to connect you to each other. Sometimes that is the biggest, not just a network, conversation, but a network to tackle, a project or a problem that you might have within your organization. So happy to always be here to help you with anything that we can for the industry. I've been in the industry now almost 3 years, like 2.5. Mike's been in here a couple years longer than that, I think 40 or so. So they say once you get to the optical industry, you don't leave, and I'm a believer in that now. So happy to be here, very passionate about it, love membership. Only been here 2.5 years, but membership is something that I've been doing for about 15 years now. And I just really enjoy the membership model and being able to help businesses grow and thrive together. So please know that you can always reach out to us, and we were just happy to have everybody here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
All
I
righty.
appreciate
See you
it.
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Have
Bye-bye.
a good day.